Hi, it's Phil Bedford here and welcome to the Rebel Network. And today I'm privileged to have David Rendall. David, welcome to the show.
Thanks, it's good to be here.
And we've just finished watching him here in Dubai with the Right Selection Group. And the presentation was the Freak Factor. And I must admit, I loved it.
Thanks.
And not just the pink trousers and the pink shoes, because I used to have a pair of pink Converse as a kid, and I got in a lot of trouble. I say kid, I was 30, and I think I've still got a pair actually. But anyway, Dave, one of the things you were talking about was using what people perceive as your weaknesses as your strengths.
Right.
Now, entrepreneurs obviously in business, they have strengths and they have weaknesses. What would be your tips to them?
Well, one of the biggest things I see with entrepreneurs is they start something up, it grows, it does well, and then it gets to a point where they start to feel it's time to be a professional, it's time to be an adult, it's time to be a grown-up. They've got to start wearing a suit, they've got to start analyzing financial data, they need to start holding meetings, they need to start being more of what our classic idea of a businessman is, or a businesswoman. And that's oftentimes not the case. They're feeling pressured to change with their business instead of saying, am I the person who wants to be running that kind of business long term? Did I even want it to grow to this point? Am I better at starting things and growing them to a certain point? Could I hand it off to somebody else? Could I sell it to somebody? Could I bring someone in as a partner who's a detail-oriented operations manager, right? So they oftentimes think, I have to fix my weaknesses to make this business successful or keep it successful, but oftentimes they don't. Their weakness of they don't like to manage those large things. They don't like to do the same thing over and over again. They're not good at figuring out all the operational efficiencies. They're good at big picture, changing things, innovation. Well, just stop that and go back and do that again, right? That's the biggest challenge, I think, with entrepreneurs, is they think, my strengths don't match the situation anymore, so I've got to change them. And what I try to show them is there's all sorts of ways to change that situation, and there's also a way to go back and do the same thing that you were good at before. There's people who are good professional managers, and they're not entrepreneurs for a reason. They like managing things that exist and making them better and better. So that's one example of how entrepreneurs, for example, can use their strengths and not worry about fixing their weaknesses.
I mean, you gave me a great example in the presentation about Mark Phelps. And that was a beautiful one. Just tell us about that one, how he uses his...
Yeah, so Michael Phelps is the most decorated Olympian of all time. And his weakness is hyperactivity. He's got attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And so do a lot of entrepreneurs. In fact, my friend Matt Curry wrote a book called The ADD Entrepreneur, precisely about how he thinks it's his superpower to have ADD, and that what other people call lack of focus is actually curiosity, it's interest, and it allows him to do a lot of things better than most people do. And then people say, no, you've got to focus, no, you've got to bring it down, no, you can't get distracted. He's saying, no, this is what's made me successful. So for Phelps, it was finding the right fit, right? Finding the right match. And his mom realized athletics rewards us for hyperactivity. And I think to some extent being an entrepreneur and being somebody who likes a lot of different things, you get rewarded for your hyperactivity, for your ADD. And so just entrepreneurship in general seems to attract those kind of people, and yet they're still in situations with their spouses, with their kids, and sometimes with their employees where they still feel like, now it's time for me to stop having ADD and time to get the medicine and time to grow up. But in fact, that's what got them to that point, and it can keep them moving forward, right? So it's seeing that weakness, seeing the upside, and really starting to keep tapping into that.
That's brilliant. And we often talk about, building a network of individuals to help you for support.
Right.
And you can often outsource that, as you're saying, that, or get people that can help you that can do it.
Yeah, we need to partner with people who are strong, where we're weak, with people who have what we don't have. If you don't have focus, find somebody who does. If you have too many ideas but you can't implement them, find an implementation person. Whatever it is, there's somebody out there who loves to do what you hate to do and what you're no good at, and that's what a successful business, what successful entrepreneurship is.
Fantastic. David, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So what's your weakness that's really your strength, and who can you find to support you in your business? Rebel Network.